bile na makepi na bapange chakosa opponenti alelira na fimbo no mwaka alelira chaimini na tempe adana opponenti avende kwesho kulabeko twafuma no t-shirt ni monemo twapita voti mundu bile na makepi bakontrolole iwe mundu bile na makepi tuba votere anjejema aletotoma aletotoma
Some of our MPs voted against Bill 7. Without Bill 7 passing, we would have never had a new constituency here in Solwezi, in Kalumbila, in Minilunga, right? In Zambezi. This province now has a lot more MPs because the UPND MPs followed the instruction to vote for Bill 7. But we have 4 MPs that refuse to vote for Bill 7. And I will name them. Gary Nkombo, Muchima, Samakai, and Mubanga. We don't want MPs like that because without Bill 7, there will be no women coming into parliament this coming year. We want loyal councillors, those who work with the president. We want loyal mayors, those who work with the president. We want loyal MPs who work with the president.
Bayou ni mundu bile na makebi bengile bamayona bataka mule faya nani ni mundu bile na makebi bengile bafama nani mule faya ni mundu bile na makebi bengile kopana nani mule faya ni mundu bile na makebi bengile apana pana pa kasukulu nani mule faya ni mundu bile na makebi bengile bale bambi bena batu shupa pafula batangisha mafunda ya lufyengo no lupato batu patanyo kubofi mitundu nendalama mumayanda mulinsala business balikaka nomba twala chitashani sanika ulubuto sanika jitemwiko sanika kabwani sanika amakwebo Bayou ni mundu bile na makebi bengile bamayona batata mule faya nani ni mundu bile na makebi bengile
Sunday the 14th, and welcome to today's broadcast. I'm sorry I started the program late. My computer just froze on me, and this is a brand new computer. It's just a few months old, but you never know with computers. Maybe it overheated, maybe it's hard to rush and fish out my old computer. So tell me in the comments if everything is okay. I'm using my old equipment, and I hope that everything is okay. So make in the comments if the visuals, audios are okay. And welcome to today's broadcast. Campaigns in earnest have kicked off. 30 days since the official time they should have started. Remember, nominations ended on 23rd of April, and this is a month later. And for various reasons, the campaigns couldn't start. First, there was an ECZ period of 7 days in which anyone could dispute the nominations. When that passed, ECZ issued the final list of presidential candidates that had filed. And I think I have to check and play that video from ECZ. They've compiled the list of successful candidates that are standing for the president. In the comments, you can tell me how many presidential candidates do we have in this election. Let's start with what we call a whip line system. A whip line system is an instruction, especially in parliamentary democracy, where a political party is leadership. That's why you even have a whip in parliament, whether it's whip for the opposition or a government whip. You issue instructions that political parties must vote in a certain way. We heard the president for the first time disclose why he fired Gary Nkombo, why he fired the Minister of Small and Medium Enterprises, why he fired the Minister of Health, Dr. Elijah Muchima, and while he named an MP, that the MP had voted for Bill 7. Now, this raised a can of worms. It raises a lot of questions. First of all, that Nelly Muti has refused to publish the official list of candidates, of names of MPs that voted for Bill 7. For transparency, political parties wanted to know who had voted and who had not voted. And when they announced a result, which they even gave to BBC, they were very proud. They said President Hakainde Hichilema's vote was unanimous. Those are the words they were using. First, the first number of MPs that voted, and the second batch of 136 MPs that voted 2-0. So now to hear today, because the first vote was something like, is it 131 or 132 with 2 MPs that didn't vote. The second vote increased to 136-0. So the president informs us that there are 4 of his cabinet ministers that didn't vote for Bill 7. Elijah Muchima was asked by Diamond TV. The young man Mwansa asked him, did you vote for Bill 7? Because we understand you voted for Bill 7. He refused. He said he was actually the official spokesperson for Bill 7. There was no way he wasn't going to vote for it. And Gary Nkombo, again on Diamond TV just the other day, was also, this question was put to him. There are rumors that you fell out with the president and the party because you voted against Bill 7. Gary Nkombo refused. He says, show me the records. And then the Mwilunga MP has issued a long statement accusing the president of lying, accusing the president of wondering where the president gets his information, because he says he didn't vote for Bill 7. Was Bill 7 vote rigged? Because it doesn't make sense. Remember, even on our side, we had some MPs that said they didn't vote for Bill 7. On top of my head, Mulenga Kampamba even went on a page and said she didn't vote for it. Chitalu Chilufya said he didn't vote for it. But my question then was that the number of MPs that were in parliament against the vote, you are counted as having voted, because the second vote, there was no objection whatsoever, and yet you were in parliament. So today, now we understand that actually some MPs from the UPND who were ministers at the time didn't vote for Bill 7. What a revelation. What a revelation. And Gary Nkombo, should put it on record, he has refused. And this gentleman from Mwinilunga, let me just look for his I want to refer to his article. He says this is how presidents, destroy people. Presidency destroy people. Because here I am, I never voted for Bill 7, but the president went public and said I had voted for Bill 7. Let me play the president's remarks, then we get back to it.
Some of our MPs voted against Bill 7. Without Bill 7 passing, we would have never had a new constituency here in Solwezi, in Kalumbila, in Mwinilunga, right? In Zambezi. This province now has a lot more MPs because the UPND MPs followed the instruction to vote for Bill 7. But we have 4 MPs that refuse to vote for Bill 7. And I will name them. Gary Nkombo, Muchima, Samakai, and Mubanga. We don't want MPs like that, because without Bill 7, there would have been no women coming into parliament this coming year. We want loyal councillors, those who work with the president. We want loyal mayors, those who work with the president. We want loyal MPs who work with the president.
So the president there is bemoaning. So Newton Samakai, he calls himself Land Rover 109. That is his moniker, his nickname. He calls himself Land Rover 109, former Mwinilunga MP. He discloses that the president told him not to stand, and he didn't understand. And he persuaded him not to stand even as an MP. He didn't understand why the president was stopping a popular MP. And I have interacted with Newton Samakai. I think he was one of those MPs that used to go to the African Parliament, that the party had nominated to go to Parliament. He's quite a resourceful, very intelligent, very knowledgeable MP. So the president told him not to stand. So the other day, when the president issued this statement, Newton Samakai, Land Rover 109 as he calls himself, now knows why the president didn't adopt him and persuaded him not to stand as an MP. He was just fooling him. The president on his desk has information that Newton Samakai voted for Bill 7. And people are asking, who is lying between the president and these MPs? Gary Nkombo has refused. Newton Samakai has refused. So who is lying? The facts are in Parliament. That voting system, the Bosch voting system, keeps records of who has voted. It keeps total attendance, who has logged in, who is sitting in Parliament, and who has voted. Even when you abscond, you don't touch the gadget. It will record you as absent. That meaning you haven't voted. But whether you have absented yourself, whether you've said no, whether you've said yes, that Bosch system is one of the most modern systems in the world. Callers are calling already. We haven't finished the monologue. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Na totela pali programu mwatupera itulandako mwafyashina chakwa finji kusheko nokulanda pa mashuwa nono ichakubalapo twatotera sana pa finifya chitike pa bushwa wa pasata temalo pa 13 kuli ba president beso ababalaisa baba Blood Mundo Bide na bamake bizo nombo ichino ndifo kulanda kufindana ndakufyati nomba pali biuseni kulinga nefi malondora sonshi ukabo wafya na ngushanchifwa ukulinga nevyo statement yo bachipira bakateka bisu abafyashi bakande chino, which means bali bachita di campaign mwamonaga, so bali bachita di campaign, so tabalifa abantu bakaba votele ero na chimbe nga mwachumva statement ye ba speech bakateka bachiranda ti bakakola ma airport chira town Zambia yonse nomba abapyashi n'abafiro okula almost muri 5 years nomba ngati wapera 5 years bakakomanisha nanga ina ma airport yo bachiranda kuli yakafuma kwe.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Mwafyashi Natasha Sana. Colleagues, just give me a moment. We haven't opened the phone lines, but thank you very much. I'll answer his question. So in parliamentary democracy, there's what is called a one-line whip. A one-line whip is an instruction issued to the political parties, to their members of parliament. This is non-enforceable. The party just issues an advisory note that colleagues, that policy, that bill, do not assent to it, don't vote for it, or don't speak for it, or support it in the event that you're supporting it, or vote for it. That's what we call a one-line whip. It's merely advisory from the party, and it has no consequences. But when there was Bill 7, the PF, through our acting president at the time, Given Lubinda, issued what we call a two-line whip. It's two-line. Number one is that you have to attend. Number two, you have to vote. And you vote exactly as the party has directed. So the one-line whip has no enforcement whatsoever. It's merely advisory. But the second one, which we call a two-line whip, this is where a political party, like if Bill 7, we are not supporting it, the matter is in court, the Constitutional Court has directed that it is illegal, it has directed the president to use a broad and consultative process. And we said we are standing with Oasis Forum, LAS, NGOCC, and others, and we told our MPs, in a two-line whip notice that you will not vote for Bill 7. So if they voted against, that's why you saw an immediate expulsion followed those that voted for Bill 7. So I saw a debate online that the President Hakainde Hichilema is not being democratic if Samakai, Gary Nkombo, and Elijah Mchima did not vote for this bill. The president has a right to punish them. He has, and the party has a right to do that. But do you know where the problem is? Is that the president didn't subject this matter to due process. If he had information that Gary Nkombo and 3 other MPs voted against Bill 7, he should have engaged a disciplinary process. We did issue a two-line whip instruction written. When they failed, we then did disciplinary action. The president did none of that. In fact, as you have seen from Newton Samakai, he learned of the matter the day the president pronounced it, and he expressed regret that the president could literally tell such a lie. Because according to him, because I voted Bill 7. Elijah Mchima was trying to say maybe the gadget, maybe Narilufianya, but my heart is with Bill 7, and he says there's no way I could have Bill 7. For Gary Nkombo, he issued a test statement to Diamond TV that he didn't vote for Bill 7. Where is the truth? The truth is in Parliament. That is why we've called for the impeachment of Nelly Muti as Speaker. That's why we've called for the arrest of Nelly Muti as Speaker, because she committed so much breaches and fraudulent activities when she was Speaker. She remains Speaker unless after elections, because she remains in office and she has to swear in the new MPs. Then the new Speaker is voted. She might stand, she might not stand, and she might be allowed to go for the second term. It is a party's decision. But for the opposition, Nelly Muti must be prosecuted. How do you pass a bill that has been rejected by the Constitutional Court, and the Constitutional Court has said it's illegal. It has struck it off, and it has provided guidance. How do you proceed to reinstate a bill that Parliament that the courts of law have clearly said was illegal? What are the ramifications of Bill 7 that is now, Act number 13 of the Constitutional Amendments of 2025? What are the ramifications? So Nelly Muti must be put on the spot for what she did. So we will come back to another matter. So did Gary Nkombo, Newton Samakai, Elijah Mchima, did they vote for Bill 7? And if the president punished them, why didn't he use the due process of the party constitution? When members violate party constitution, you follow the party disciplinary code in which to discipline them. You just can't hold it as a grudge. You fire them as ministers without their knowledge. We know it's your discretion, but if the president was bold, he should have told his MPs and go underhand, ensure that they are not nominated, remove them from their ministerial position, including the Minister of Small and Medium Enterprises. How do you just remove them without reason? Of course, it's your discretion. But as a party, if they went against your two-line whip, you are supposed to make disciplinary action against it. So the party has a right to discipline and punish the members that voted against its policies. But when you abrogate the due process of the law, you've seen people being reinstated at places of work despite what they did. The due process is as good to attend to. That's what justice calls for. In this case, Gary Nkombo was alleging that he didn't vote. Samakai and the other two were saying they didn't vote for Bill 7. Now this is your role to ask from Parliament. Give us a rota, who voted and who didn't vote. And then you put it to them, the facts are that you voted, and then you mete out disciplinary action. And what is missing in this process is that the president has not followed the due process of the law, and he has unfairly punished, without being heard, his senior members of the party.
Some of our MPs voted against Bill 7. Without Bill 7 passing, we would have never had a new constituency here in Solwezi, in Kalumbila, in Mwinilunga, right? In Zambezi. This province now has a lot more MPs because the UPND MPs followed the instruction to vote for Bill 7. But we have 4 MPs that refuse to vote for Bill 7. And I will name them. Gary Nkombo, Muchima, Samakai, and Mubanga. We don't want MPs like that, because without Bill 7, there will be no women coming into Parliament this coming year. We want loyal councillors, those who work with the president. We want loyal mayors, those who work with the president. We want loyal MPs who work with the president.
Let's go to the opposition. The Tonse Alliance, Tonse Pamosi Alliance, held a mass rally. They billed it as a mass rally, but the turnout qualified to be a mega rally, because by the time the leader, Brian Mundubile, was addressing the crowd, Kitwe playing fields was full to capacity. And many, social media, they took social media by storm. Remember, the president was in Solwezi, and the president was also live most of the time. And when you look at the numbers, it was trounced, meaning the entire country was paying attention to what was happening in Kitwe. I was looking at the live broadcast numbers, and you could see that Brian Mundubile's page had 12,000 live. The president had something like 3,000 people that were live. And if you look at the comments, Brian Mundubile had something like 24,000. Is it 24,000 comments? Let me just look at the particular statistics so that you don't accuse me of overstating. But I was looking just at the statistics to demonstrate that the country was more interested in the opposition for various reasons, and I'll explain. Number one is there were obviously apprehension. Will the police allow this rally? Is there opposition in Zambia? Because the UPND have been saying there is no opposition whatsoever. And so people were following this rally very, very keenly. Yeah. So the two were live at the same time. The Tonse Pamozi rally, Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu were live. I can see that, so the president had likes, 12,000 likes. Brian Mundubile on his page, and remember the rally was live on various pages, Smart Eagle, Zambia Reports, and other pages. Makebi Zulu's page. I haven't even gone to Makebi Zulu's page. I've just gone to Brian Mundubile's page. The numbers were similar. If you look at Daily Nation, Millennium, and anyone that carried, the numbers were very huge. 10,000 likes, 8,000. But I just took President Hakainde Hichilema's page and Brian Mundubile's page. And these are the official statistics. So the president had 12,000 likes. He was live at the same time when Brian Mundubile and the rally in Quito was live. Brian had 28,000 likes. The president had 1,000 comments, 1K. Mundubile had 14,000 comments, 14,000 comments. The president had 258 shares. Brian Mundubile had 3,000 shares. But I haven't gone to the Daily Nation, I haven't gone to Millennium and all of the other pages that carried the broadcast live, but you could see that the numbers were very huge. What does it mean? The attention was on the rally for Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu. Like I said, number one, there were apprehension. Will the police allow this rally? We saw they allowed the rally. Will it be attended to? Will it just be an ordinary political rally? And I saw my 2, 3, 4 friends who we interact with very closely on social media. Oliver Shalala, George N. Mutonga, and Larry Mwetwa. When musicians were posting those early images and pictures of the Quito rally around 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours, they took those images and displayed them that the rally was poorly attended. They were shocked. Of course, people were still coming. And by the time Brian Mundubile took the stage, the entire place was full to capacity. And when the images were released, they quickly cried. George N. Mutonga, Oliver Shalala quickly cried and posted on their pages, AI, meaning artificial intelligence generated images. Of course, it was not. And when the videos came, then they were shamed that truly Kitwe came to the rally. So they began to post things like, no, it's their entire party structures of, the PF. They came from Luanshya, from Chitilabombo, from Chingola, from Mundola. That they were finding excuses why the rally was attended in such a fashion. Well, yesterday was a game changer. Those numbers are extremely encouraging for the opposition and extremely encouraging for both Brian Mundubile's candidature, who's now established himself clearly as a front runner with the president. So it looks like it's President Hakainde Hichilema and Brian Mundubile. If you look at statistics so far in the last 2 weeks, you can see that the front runner from the opposition, Brian Mundubile, has emerged as a front runner. This is not denigration to my other colleagues and my other leaders in Honorable Harry Kalawa, KBF, or Dr. Fred Membe. But what you can see as of today is that this race is beginning to be like a two-horse race, a runaway two-horse race between President Hakainde Hichilema and Brian Mundubile. I don't know what you think in the comments, but that's my opinion as of today. Looking at the events that have occurred from filing of nominations on 23rd, when nominations closed on 23rd April. And the Chester and his team have captured this image very properly, because there were fears that Mundubile will not be allowed to file. They said he was facing criminal charges. They said he would not be allowed because he doesn't have a special purpose vehicle or a political party to stand on. The same fears were with Makebi Zulu. They said he would not be allowed to stand because PF was either with Miles Sampa or Chavinga. So these two were immediately being ruled out, although being strong leaders, they were being ruled out, that they likely may not contest the 2026 elections. Then came the surprise. The filing of nominations was opening on the 18th. 4 days before that, we saw that impromptu coming together. I was actually broadcasting here. And when the news filtered out that Makebi and Brian Mundubile are coming together, both Tonse and Pamosi Alliance were coming together. So you saw that late evening announcement that the two will present one ticket. And here was their scheme, their plan. Because there were fears against the parties that they were standing on. They developed this scheme because Pamosi Alliance had picked Resolute Party as a special purpose vehicle, announced to its candidates, candidates across the country that they were going to use a special purpose vehicle of Resolute Party. Brian Mundubile, despite the fears, had first paid the 100,000 kwacha under FDD. And we had a lot of fears. What details are sitting at the Registrar of Societies? And when the information came that the Registrar of Societies was not going to amend the records, was not going to accept the changes to be made arising from the conference that Chifumu Banda and his team in the FDD had. When it emerged at the last minute, people were exasperated. So what will happen to the candidature of Brian Mundubile? So we saw even the chairperson of Electoral Commission of Zambia, Mama Mwangala Zalomis, even issue a statement that if you cleared your payment of 100,000 kwacha, because at that stage, Brian had even cleared the 1,000 supporters across the provinces. And you want to stand on another political party, because she knew that day that Brian Mundubile had submitted a new party, NRPUP, as a special purpose vehicle. So she said, you have to pay the fee afresh, 100,000, and you have to clear the nominations afresh. It looked like a fresh hurdle because Brian Mundubile had paid the 100,000 under FDD. He had even cleared the 1,000 supporters across the provinces. And here was another hurdle. Mwangala Zalomis's decree was that if you want to bring a new initiative, a new party to stand on, you will need to transport your 1,000 from the provinces and bring them to Lusaka. So with all those hurdles, you can imagine the apprehension of Zambians, and they began to rule out will Brian Mundubile stand or not. So the two, Makebi Zulu had disappointment on Thursday, Brian Mundubile had disappointment earlier on Monday, and they devised the method that mwana iwanga bakukana walasa women Nepalini. Makebi Zulu had already paid the 100,000 and had cleared the 1,000 supporters under Resolute Party. So on that day, when they went to submit under Brian Mundubile's party in the afternoon, in the morning, Mundubile gave a surprise. He transported the 1,000 supporters to showgrounds. And by 12 hours, it is verified that the 1,000 were freshly submitted and the 900 were from the provinces. That was the first stick. And at 14 hours, the two emerged. And Brian Mundubile filed as leader of NRPUP. And Makebi Zulu was then unveiled as a running mate. Remember, there are two tickets. Either Thursday, where Makebi Zulu was going to file, or Monday, where Brian Mundubile was going to file. So it emerged that the ticket passed. They were validly nominated. So the ticket for Thursday clearly fell out. I remember that there was some pressure from some candidates because of internal issues. You know, when you differ, insults against one another, audios, videos against one another, there was polarization and you needed to build trust. So there were assertions that just to be sure, Makebi Zulu must also file under Resolute Party with his own running mate. And I came to this broadcast the eve before and totally discouraged that approach. I said, you'll be undermining what has happened. I even went spiritual. I gave a divine reference. I said, count your blessings. The blessing is that the Lord has given you this ticket, which you said would not go through. Why? Mwambo kuchenga. God will punish you and you lose everything that you have if you don't count your blessings. And that's what happened. I'm glad that everyone came to senses and agreed that we should work together. There is still a niggling issue that both Makebi Zulu and Brian Mundubile have to resolve. Remember, we have candidates on NRPUP and we have candidates under Resolute Party. And there are concerns, and that's why you see Makebi Zulu is troubled. Every time he appears in public, he has to carry the bag. He has to support those candidates that might suffer when the two came together. But remember, the adoptions were shared. The numbers you saw of who will stand where were agreed upon by Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu. And those candidates that are refusing to stand down are being unfair to the alliance, and they're the ones that are bringing tension because they are supposed to oblige by the party instruction. The party issued a list of adopted candidates, and two leaders, Celestine Mkandila and Zuma Nzimba, addressed the media and the supporters that please abide by our instructions. So it's regrettable that up to this late hour, 60 days before elections, these candidates are still holding on and still campaigning instead of dropping in accordance with the official list. If they don't drop out, we'll be using the broadcast list where they are contested candidates. We'll be reading out the official list so that our people know who is defying party instructions. Because that sense of indiscipline is what brings problems when you form government, where everyone thinks they can do whatever they want. So on this forum, we'll dedicate where there are two candidates, we'll be reading the officially adopted candidates to shame those that are exercising indiscipline, because the two parties agreed who the official candidates are. And the leaders, I would urge the leaders in both Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu to be resolute on this matter and put their feet down. There is no time. The continued presence of two candidates in constituencies is undermining your campaign, because these two candidates are forced to speak against one another. Inadvertently, they are even speaking against the leadership. This one is saying, no, after all, Imo Mkwetefe vice president. No, after all, Imo Tamwakwata abantu. That talk is extremely dangerous. 60 days to go on. So other than the leadership of Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu, Celestine Mkandila and Zuma Nzimba resolve this issue. You can't let it continue to fester like a boil. Kwa chipute, mule chile kafyai, atukutenga mine chipute, vishaku chapola vane, iyo tete chipole. So we'll be reading the the official candidates on this page, but we urge the leaders, we shouldn't resort to that extreme circumstance of embarrassing our own party members. Remember, these remain our party members. So why these divisions? Why? Why even carry anger, bitterness, challenges that were in the PF, you transport them to the new alliances. Remember, Pamosi Alliance is beyond PF. It has many political parties and civil society. Tonse Alliance is beyond PF. It has many political parties and civil society groupings. So why are you bringing the PF culture, PF indiscipline into these two new alliances? It's totally unfair. I think that the issue of dual candidates should be resolved and should be resolved quickly. And I was talking about where we are and why I was pronouncing that it looks like the race is emerging as a two-horse race between President Hakainde Hichilema and President Brian Mundubile. As at today, in politics, a day is a long time. Something dramatic can happen. But as at today, my assessment is that we have two emerging, it is beginning to emerge like a two-horse race. Someone said, but Luimbo fye, yeah. Never underestimate Luimbo. Inyimbo shila fuasana. The song reaches where you can't reach, where your message cannot reach. The song can be played. And with technology now, it's just a WhatsApp and it's on a JBL speaker and it's playing. Good songs do help in the campaigns. That is why even here in America, they'll get one of the, they pick the best artists to support them. Someone said, another one said, no, but Luimbo can't make you win. Look at the PF. They had good songs in 2021. Well, all a song, just like a message, just like the candidate, there are many factors that go to winning an election. It's just not a song, of course. I agree with you there. But a good song does help because it will be played where you are not available. The song will be campaigning for you where you cannot reach. And for those that, say, for example, didn't know who Mundubile is and Makebi Zulu, now they know because of the song. So a good song does help. Chester has produced, Shenki and Rich Bees and Gaddafi have produced this song. Many people welcome the song, not because it could be very nice. Of course, it's a nice song. But they welcome the loyalty of these musicians. These musicians have been associated with PF, with Brian Mundubile Makebi and the late President Edgar Lungu. And despite the enticement where, Yomaps has gone to the UPND, JK has gone to the UPND and a few musicians, Zambians welcomed this song, not because it's very nice, but because of the loyalty behind the song. The Chester is still with the opposition. There could be no much money in the opposition. It even comes as a risk because sometimes they deny you business. So the four musicians were being praised for that. Let me just play their song and we go to another topic, then I open the phone lines.
Mwana
The team tomorrow moves to Kabwe. They hope that they can replicate the rally in Kitwe. So Kabwe, Kapirimposhi, your rally is coming tomorrow. They've advertised for a rally. Makebi and Munduville and Makebi will be at these grounds, the famous grounds in Kitwe, Makukulu grounds in Makukulu Township in Kabwe tomorrow. So the rally is on tomorrow. It starts at 12 hours. So if you are in Kabwe, Makebi Zulu and Brand Munduville and Makebi Zulu bring the nyali, the lamp, to Kabwe. They bring the light to Kabwe. And I was seeing the opposition trying to mock the lamp that no. Ichilema has brought solar and electricity. You don't need the nyali. No, the nyali is symbolism to light where there is darkness. Remember, the UPND is being accused of witchcraft, satanism, the manner they've dealt with the issues of the late president, accident, funny deaths. They are being associated with satanism. And the issue of the candle, the issue of a lamp, is like we have to bring light to where darkness is. It's symbolism. In religious time, there was no solar or electricity. In religious times, there was a lamp, there was a nyali. That's what that means. We'll be opening the phone lines, Movantu Akwalesa, and you can now contribute on those topics. I should have started with this. Zambia has lost a luminary. A luminary that we should recognize here. Thank you, first caller. So the country has lost Mrs. Petronella Kawandami Chisanga. Mrs. Petronella Kawandami Chisanga is very well known by most of you for running Chadley House School. It has educated a lot of people. It was one of those high quality private schools in Chadley, in Lusaka. So Madam Petronella Kawandami Chisanga was the owner of that school. She's a prominent educator, business executive. She passed on yesterday, 13th June 2026, Saturday. The older generation will remember that her and her husband are very well known. Patrick Chisanga was the first official spokesperson for UPND when Mazoka formed the party. He's also a renowned businessman. I think he's a Rotarian. He was even elected to a very big position. You can remind me in the position where he had settled here in the US as Secretary General. Is it a Rotarian or the other grouping? You can tell me which other grouping. But the husband, Mr. Chisanga, is that man. And she was one of those members of the Central Committee. Every time you speak those Mama Kankasa and the others, her name featured prominently. And she used to be managing director of Zambia National Holdings, which was an investment wing of UNIP. And it had many companies, including industrial companies. Remember, it even built where there is government house. That entire government house was built by the Zambia National Holdings, but with finance from China. And the Zambian government under Chilua grabbed it, confiscated it, and donated to government, saying the bilateral support was meant to Zambia, not to the party. They could have been unfair. But that entire government building was UNIP. It was designed to be UNIP headquarters. They had, where there's now a hotel, Freedom House on Cairo Road, like you're going to Findeco, they had that building. So there was Zambia National Holdings that held all these companies together. And Mrs. Kawandami, Petronella Kawandami, was the managing director for that period. Women's movement, remember her, that the historic first UN World Conference on Women that was held in Mexico, she represented the country. Before the Beijing conference that took place in 1994, there was a Mexico conference. So for those that fight for women's rights, they have these milestones. So the first milestone was a UN conference that took place in 1975. So our deep condolences goes to her and Mr. Patrick Faneuil, Daniel Chisanga, and the family. And many people don't know that she's actually a sister. Petronella Chisanga is actually a sister to Brebna Changala. Brebna, the famous civil society activist, is a brother to Petronella Chisanga. You know, sometimes our lives are so separate that people can't know that you actually come from Indaimo, and we have the first caller. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Ambassador, happy Sunday.
Thank you very much.
My name is Mtale. Yes, now I'm a regular caller on this program.
Thank you, Mtale. Make your contributions.
May God bless you for the good work you're doing. I'm Mtale, first and foremost, I'd want to pass my word of condolences to the family, and just to say one word on what you have said, that Sanga is Brave is a brother to the late. That's how much we should respect each other as human beings, because it's not by name that you are going to criminality someone or judge someone. So as a people, we have to be one Zambia, one nation. The motto should continue. Thank you. Coming to the rally yesterday, I felt like it was that's the day that they have declared an election. To be honest with you, I had all those fears, the ones that you have mentioned earlier on, the police and name it, everything. People, there will be accusation, or maybe other people will be arrested, just like that. But to see the numbers, people turning in huge numbers, I was so happy. And one thing that even to the people that you mentioned that they were saying it's AI, I'm laughing to these postings, because you see, I don't think the opposition has the money to ferry people from different parts of the country. Okay, those people who were attending, they were actually the genuine people who wanted to hear the voice of their redeemers. They wanted to put the eye on these persons, on these people. Who are these? Who's Mbubile? Who's Makebi? Okay, we have seen him on the TV, we have heard, but we want to see him. So these are the people who made sacrifice and went and see him. And now, this is how bad it has been for the past 5 years, where HH has oppressed the opposition not to have these meetings. And that's the result. Secondly, we on this caller, we have been calling for unity. We have been calling for unity, calling Kalaba. Remember, Honorable President Kalaba is not here to defend himself, but there's one time he came here and he was very categorical that no, we cannot be escorting other people. But the people of the land called and says you have to unite. Now look at this. The moment we heard that the two have emerged on this program, you stand to be a witness. I don't think there have been too many callers making the same call that people should come together. Kalaba, KBF members that they should join. Yes, it's still, this call is still there. We are still calling that these people, they should emerge, because otherwise they'll split the votes. But what you say to cement a statement, the one who said that it looks like it's a two-horse race. To be honest, the Zambians, they were hoping and wishing to see two major people coming together, and this is Makebi and this is Mundubire. They have emerged and they are running the race. For the opposition, we wish that even they'll say that I'm a vote here in AI. Our votes indeed will be AI. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The lines are open. Make your contribution. I love what the caller said, that the opposition still must come together. Any form of division takes away. There's still an opportunity for our leaders to come together, and I agree with you. It's not too late. And also the work that lies ahead. For example, the manning to protect the vote, the manning of 13,400 polling stations across the country. How will we man those if the opposition are not coming together? Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador. This is James from Ndola.
Yes, James, make your contribution.
Yes, I was very happy to see the multitudes that gathered in Kitwe. It's an eye-opener, and for those people, our friends from these parties, these two parties that are struggling, I think that should show them that something big is about to happen. We viewed all the two gatherings, one where the president was, and that one where Brian Mundubile and Mark Ebizulu was. It shows you, the Quito one shows you that the change is about to happen in Zambia. Coming to the promises of His Excellency to build 10 airports in 10 provinces. Those are rhetorics. You see, which is easier to do, to reduce the price of middle meal or to build an airport? If they fail to build, to reduce prices of commodities, can they build the airports? In any case, when PF was building things across the country, they were building roads, they were building airports. These guys, they were saying, no, so, looking at the problem, the current problem that we have in Zambia, the current problem that has made UPND unpopular, Kudia, Wadi, people cannot afford food. So if someone is looking at building airports, then I don't know whether these guys, they have anything good for this country. We should look at improving livelihood of the people so that they can afford to eat well. Building airports in 10 provinces, who is going to use the airports if they cannot even afford to feed well? So I think those they are misplaced priorities. I'm encouraging MZ and BM to continue pushing until we win this election. I was telling my UPND brothers here, we were arguing to say opposition we have killed Yalipo Maripo. I said, I've been here on this platform, Ambassador. Remember one day I said something to say, opposition is the people, and that's what we saw in Kitwe. They might have destroyed all those people in Lusaka, the Luvindas and all those people, they got scattered. But we, the 1.8 million blacks that voted for PF in 2021, were still intact, and that's what we saw. That's my contribution, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The lines are open. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Yeah, for the first time today, I will say my name. My name is Henry Hari Lungu.
Wonderful. Henry, make your contribution. And it's good that today you've decided to tell us your name.
Yes, thank you. Vamwamba, I just want to tell the people of Zambia, my fellow Zambians back home in Zambia, you people, you cried that let Makebe Zulu and Brian Mundubile merge. And these people, they heard the calling of you, the Zambians, that they merged and they merged. Now that they are in the collision, I'm calling upon you fellow Zambians. Look at what people are going through in our country. Go out there, those people, they have merged because of we, the Zambian people, we called them to merge. Now go out there, flat out. Any person you meet, talk to them, convince them as managers of this campaign to go on the 13th of August, 2026, to go and vote for NRPU. Brian Mundubile, President, and his running mate, Makebe Zulu. I thank you, Bamwamba.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, Bamwamba. Mbombe mkwai.
Ensta mkwai, Barishan Mayo.
Aho tulifye bwino mama nyinenda ndetu mina kusuvalesti.
Mkwai Mayo, landeni po.
Bamwamba. Nafiranga kale nangubanga kwa bachawe ni AI nishani babepelefi ba president ayama airport tatule ya fire tatukwate na ene nchito noku nine ndege tatule ya fire bali firo kutubosha shobunga pa 50 tekwacha. Efe bala tubepa nomba nishishi. Bale sendo tubunga, eto bale bika mumukoshi. Bakolobeka konseko baleya. Tu saladi. Utusabi utwalula tulieto bale senda. Apana abafilwa. Abanomba batampo kula bepesha banao bagali nkombo kwa chao constitution yo bali vote taba votere. Namba twala dia constitution. Ifafa twale fwa bakateko bunga bule mwatu webelo bwa 50 kwacha. Na fertilizer ya 250. So na bamona fyo kwa bati blani mundubiri. Na Makebi Zulu efe baleisa. Awe ni so dambe. Apa nangu bangalanda ti AI nangu bangalanda fyonse fe bale fwaya. Babe perefi. Esho ndero mbako fyo kukabwoko. Imeni fyafine bachibai minaba nesu mailo kukitwe. Muke mefyo fyafine chika chitinta ngombe shakwe batinga bamona. Niso tambe. Na kurogwine kulusaka bablani mundubire. Na Makebi tule milorela. Mufuile mwaenda ma province yoso kwa wati wamona tabantu wale fwa change. Change eyo balefu aya abantu tatwali obufe bo batu bepele kunu moko waboza hapa ni ku left tifuna muntu wamene azakamba vazona ndiye wamene tipeleka ku State House ulio mpando benda na wadaidi ulya bakeka na bwena community house hapa kuya bebele balefu aya tabalefu aya na isura motoka ya babrani mundu bila Makebi Zulu abana mayo bashitata tientulo ya shepela ampi na pachola tienu mkuya votela ba mundubile na ba Makebi Zulu mwabaka votela mumunali tienu mvotele na chinda MP kansela natu kwa Sylvester Mulenga techa kwesho kutelententawe tienu tuwafunya mpawa baka enobu feo batu bepele tatulefwayo muntu wabu fiapa kuya bebele pase chini se Augusti kikupelekezani mufuna simufuna ikaloke sinaloke kuya bebele bamwambale sampale mule bomba bwino.
Thank you very much. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution. Oh, this caller is connected, but it's not connecting. Let me go to the next caller because I have so many waiting. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you very much. I opt not to disclose my name. We have blood-faced politicians in this country.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, blood-faced politicians.
Proceed.
Thank you very much. Well, message is clear to all political stakeholders. The message is abundantly clear. We even at this late hour, we continue appealing to the other opposite political parties to say you have seen what is happening. You have seen how you have been drowned. We appeal to Socialist Party President Freddie Membe and Amaya Dolika and of course Bakalaba to say please, the message is clear in white and black. We have to protect the vote. We still need your efforts. We still need your combined efforts. If President Hakainde Hichilema is being misinformed by his OP, people he has informed to give him information, he is getting a clear message on the ground. Wherever his motorcade is moving, people are busy giving him direct feedback. From the time I was born, my brother, Ambassador Emmanuel Wamba, I have never seen a president who is so detected in just one term. In just one term, wherever he goes, his motorcades, his police officers who are taking him, they are a subject of humiliation by the people on the road. He is getting a clear picture. So what we are saying is that crowd yourself at large is historical. We have never seen people turn up in such kind of a manner. Even in 1991, they didn't turn up like that, people. That is a clear message that if President Hakainde Hichilema, wherever he is now,
he must have a feedback that there's even no need of going for elections. Time Tantula Manjapa, you have been rejected by the people. People don't want you, and the people have made the message abundant and clear that they do, wherever they see the UPND people are telling them, Moretans are about starvation in this country. You don't touch the issue of Miu and expect to survive in Zambia. Southern province also, it has shaken. So the man, wherever he is, he must be able to start considering resigning. There's even no need of going for the elections. When a man has been so rejected, he can see it. People are making it clear wherever they say. So what we are saying is that we continue appealing to these other political parties who are still in the state of disillusionment. Okay? You see? When we were appealing to say, come together, this is exactly what we meant, President Halikarala. This is exactly what we meant, President Fred Membe. Not assembling small political parties to endorse you and then you say you are opposing political parties.
My dear brother, just be respectful to them. Remember, they still have to work together. Be respectful to them, please.
I'm sorry, my brother, and please, I restrict that.
Yes, please,
we
please.
Continue appealing. We need them. We need them very much. We need them because there's massive need of protecting the votes. So we need all efforts in place. So please, I'm appealing to all political parties. This is the time for you people. It's time, never too late. Please come together. We fight this battle together. We liberate this country. This country has gone to the dogs. Ambassador Manono. You can't be watching somebody that's taking democracy and everything has put it in his pocket. You can't continue like this. So please, my last appeal is that all the other political parties, it's never too late. Let us come together and we shall fight this battle. Thank you very much.
I'm grateful, thank you. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Hello, caller.
Yes,
Yes, caller. Yes, caller. Your line is very bad, but go ahead.
Ambassador, I would like to shorten my contribution, especially concerning the unstable policies concerning the UPND. The UPND cannot be in a position to be asked that what are you going to cut? When you
my brother, your line is cracking. Find somewhere better. Find somewhere better. Your line is terribly cracking. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Ambassador, I'm calling, my name is Chiwombo Dominic.
Chiwombo Dominic, make your contribution.
Ambassador, I would like to first to talk about if you are UPND, mukano muri ba UPND muiswire kyati free education. But free education alone, yes, education is important, but if you go in schools, learners are packed in classrooms like with a teacher-pupil ratio of 90:1. Access to education, yes, is very important. But are the teachers enough? Are schools enough? Schools. The PF, in PF administration, a very massive infrastructure. If you look at another issue of the opposition to Deva Mwamba,
the opposition in Zambia is fragmented today. And fragmentation only benefits the ruling party. So ine mukulomba kwandi, nangu mukulomba kwesu fwe bantu, ngefe bonsi bareranda. Ba Fred Membe, ba Harikara banari batuma, because my chief coming from Mansa is a prince. Let them build one coalition with shared goals. Parties do not really need to agree on everything. Sabakwatu wa yamukupa ba mwamba. Tetu landi atiyo kanonka sangewa kweba tuko suminishani fyonzi. Some things you compromise. But what is important is you prioritize national interest over personal ambitions. That is what we are really fighting for. Over the issue of Bill 7, it's really a sorry situation. We don't now know even who's telling the truth. Maybe that's the reason why the UPND government refused to publish the names of who voted and who didn't vote. Because even up to now, the public does not have that information. So we don't know who's saying the truth and who's not, and who's lying. Probably the president, maybe, we feel the president is lying. Because if the president is not lying, why to say these are the people who voted for Bill 7 and these are the people who didn't vote for Bill 7? Ambassador, on the issue of the songs, political songs they help political parties and the candidates to win support. They create party identity. May he so rest in peace, Dandi Kereza Imbire. That song, no shari mukuvotera PF, Alisa Umfatu say this is the message. They communicate political messages. They build emotional connections. Another example, Sha Ishva Yo Maps in Dundumwez, no kumona tamu mwana. Nga umfori mbolo wakwa Yo Maps, mujhe PL speaker, Shana ala umfatu say, oh, this song is talking about this. So we really commend the beautiful songs by Praise Zambia, Chester, and again, the group Chester, Rich Busy, those guys need to be commended. They've shown loyalty. In life, loyalty is very important. And issue ya Mairo, today if okulomba kwesu, wa Makululu mine area, ero ambassador mwachirufiani, aidani Makululu.
Mkwa ina banje abakukawe na chimwana na abantu mina messages ati bamwamba shua pa Makululu epo mwisa lyonse na marali na momwalaba mkwa iyo banje leleko
so bonse bali aba Makululu mine area, Polen, High Ridge, Uchowa, Wakatondo, Vampima, bonse ture miromba chitinta ngombe. Apanomba patu afike para balanda ni pali bwana ndembulule. Ichilowe chirombero muchere. Apature mirombo kwebati mairo 12 hours. President weswale isa mukabwe. Tukaye umfa message. Ifyo batukwati yokutweba. And the issue yama candidates bamwamba mwachiranda we know yama double candidates. This is a worrying situation. And it has to be resolved as quickly as possible. Why? Because very time confusions. And social media require sana a lot of power. Even the UPND might try to capitalize on that. Look, these people are not organized. Look at what is happening in this side. So that issue needs to be resolved as soon as possible.
Thank you so very much, my brother. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Ambassador, good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry, Ambassador, you gave me a chance, but there's a thought that I need to communicate to the people. Ambassador, a king is designed. Our lives are spiritual, and when you look at how the king lives, they are designed and the king should live as such. And this trickled down to the leadership that we have right now, that the prime minister and the president and the ministers up to the lower ranking. But if you look at how HH rejected his presidency the moment he was sworn in, because the king, in our own traditional way, where the chief lives, but HH did not live in State House. They recommended House of the Government, and he rejected it, and instead he went and stayed, or still staying at his house. That alone he rejected, because the system, the OP and other security wings who tell you, Mr. President, your living room should be like this. It's designed, and they also tell you how you speak, how you conduct yourselves. And when you look at all these things, the way HH has been conducting himself, where the president himself, one key note, ambassador, when the portrait of the president was being printed, do you know that he refused to be called His Excellency? The first, if there is now, which I don't know, he refused to be to be written His Excellency. He said, that's a president. Because the man does not fit to be His Excellency. So you can tell that the man has not lived to the standard of that office. So this, God was just showing us that let's keep him until such a time. So the time of him living is now. Ambassador, indeed, you are a lion. Like somebody told me that you are a lion. Your nickname is a lion. Please, remain. Thank you.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Wamamba.
Good evening.
This is Michael Zephaniah Piri. I'm calling from Osaka.
Mr. Piri, long time.
Long time indeed. How have you been?
Very well, my brother. Make your contribution.
Yes, my contribution is I'm glad that you have brought a very good topic that we should talk about what happened in Quito yesterday. I was part and parcel of the people who are now called to be AI. Yesterday, I was an AI in Quito where I saw the swarm of bees where people came in large numbers. And the other fascinating issue which I want to talk and which I bring to the attention of the Zambian people is that the people who came in numbers there yesterday, when they wanted to sing national anthem, people refused. They said they wanted to sing the national anthem together with the president, BM8, and his running mate. And it was shocking, and I saw it for the first time, Wamamba, where people could say, no, we want to sing along with our incoming president. Zambians have made a decision. And those who are still procrastinating to say that the Zambians, there is no opposition, yesterday's rally, I think it has disturbed a lot of people. And you saw those who have joined the alliance, the so-called alliance with the UPND. They were making statements, trying to show that there were no people, there was an AI-generated pictures. That was not true because God is trying to change them. They will turn like the way Mukaloti turned into salt, which they called salt sada. And a lot of people, they don't understand when they say salt sana. Salt sana, it means the person who have turned against what God had said, leave the Sodom and Gomorrah. Zambian people are leaving Sodom and Gomorrah. They don't want salt sana. But those who have gone to alliance, who have gone to bed with UPND, are going to turn like Mkaloti. And this is the message I wanted to tell Wamambalati. Zambians, we have already decided and we are changing government come 13th August. Look at Wamamba as I conclude. Where have you ever seen the incumbent is moving from one place to another? It has never happened because he's now confused. He don't know what to do because the people told him that BM8 and Makebi Zulu and the Zambians said, these are the people we want. They are forming government, and he thought it was a joke. Now look at, he was in Solowezi. He has gone to Kasama, leaving his entourage. And for the first time where the president comes at the airport, greet people, board a plane and goes. That is total confusion, Wamanga. We thank our God who is able to push us and to see us through. Let's unite Zambians. Let's come in numbers and vote out UPND. The signal has been sent already. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have so many callers. Try to be brief. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello?
Yes, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Okay, this is MK6. Mwalibi Hautiba Mwamba.
Twalibi Abadala, make your contribution.
Today I'm Tonga. Nditumina uli wingi.
Yes, my brother.
The last time I shed tears of joy was in 2011. In 2011, I don't know how many people cried. I was so surprised. My PC had I don't know how many pages at once, and I was monitoring everywhere. So I was so surprised. I just want to congratulate everyone who attended and the team, the Donse team, for organizing such an event. But actually, the people organized themselves. I just want to touch on one topic. I think you mentioned it in your introduction about the 4 MPs who were named. You know, this is where I've been always talking about the hate that our head of state exposed or has in him. Because you cannot go and start even naming people on something that you actually won. What if he didn't win that bill? What would have happened? Let's just imagine that bill flopped. What would have happened to those people he was naming? They would have been dead by now. And this is the same hate that I have seen in him from 2016 until our late president passed on. The same hate. He can't forgive. And I can assure you, Mwamba, if we flop this August, we lose. Pakafita. A lot of people will go behind bars. Because Nomba Kukabe Chifukushi. Amalite na 1 month tabagalera na because he has seen that we are a revolt. Then let me conclude. I think there's a brother who called talking about free education, because the campaign the UPND have or has now, there are only 3 things they are talking about if you have observed them. It's all about CDF, free education, and and the cadarism of the PF. You can imagine, they are even telling their people to say, crocodile is a crocodile, tachinja. Mwamona? But they are not talking about their own cadarism. They are not talking about their own corruption. So, on the issue of education, let me summarize it, or let me conclude by education. Let's not fool the people. We fooled the people for so many years. At least for now, the people have waken up. Let's not continue fooling the people. There is no free education. We are getting loans to fund these schools. We are getting loans. You ask the UPND, why are the debts that they so much blamed the PF for, why are they increasing? They won't give you a straight answer. Because they know if they say it's for education, they will be answerable. So we are piling up debts for people to come and pay after 5, 10, 15 years from now. Is that free? Is that free? Because even teachers now are getting paid through these debts. You have to borrow to pay the teachers. No, let's not fool people. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm grateful. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
This is Precious Inonga from Livingston.
Precious, make your contribution, my dear sister.
Yes,
I want to talk on the free education that these others people they keep on saying, and also on the 4 MPs. So I'll start with the 4 MPs. Those 4 MPs, they are saying that they did not vote for Bill 7. I don't even know the reason why Hakainde Hichilema is condemning them. Because our President Hakainde Hichilema is the person who was telling the people that that bill is evil. Because there is no difference between the Bill 10 and the Bill 7. So if those people, they did not vote for that bill, why is he condemning them? Because even him, he warned the people of Zambia that don't vote for Bill 10. Bill 10 is a black mamba poison. Bill 10 is one part states. Supporting Bill 10 is like drinking poison because it has sugar. So now today is forcing people to drink the poison that he refused them. So President Hakainde Hichilema, you are a danger to the nation, and that much you should know. And the true mighty God who sees in secret, he will not allow you to succeed in every evil plans you have against the people of Zambia. Because the truth is that bill, it will harm the people of Zambia. So people of Zambia, open your eyes. And me, I suspect that it's just fooling the nation because most of those MPs, they knew about this. They knew that that bill, it will protect them. This is why they refused Barungu to come up with that cyber, because they knew that that cyber, it was to expose the criminals. So then, President Hakainde Hichilema, he refused Barungu to go ahead with cyber and fooled the nation that when I come in power, I'm going to reverse that cyber. When he knew that he was doing it just to protect those people who was helping him in criminality. Because if it was not them who was behind whatever was happening in Patriotic Front, how come we failed to instruct officers to expose those criminals, even those who was gassing innocent Zambians, even those who even killed their own people? It's all over social media telling the people that, hey, Mapens Yubulo, PF killed Mapens Yubulo, PF killed Lawrence Banda, PF killed Joseph Kaunda. So now, why is he failing to instruct officers to send those original criminals who killed their own people as well? So President Hakainde Hichilema, this time we cannot fool the nation, and that's the truth. Coming to the free education, there is no free education, Honorable Emmanuel Mamba. Myself, I have a son who is in Form 1. And President Hakainde Hichilema introduced this Form 1. From there, he failed to provide the textbooks for the children to learn there so that they can be writing my notes. What are they doing now? They are giving us now homework of buying bundles every day. And for me, their cadres, they blocked me. But Emmanuel Mamba, I've been explaining to you from 2024, I'm not working. My vehicle was blocked by the cadres, and is there fooling the nation that we got rid with cadres. Which cadres? Cadreism is there in UPND. Myself, I witnessed this Shoprite where I used to work there. They even threatened me to say, I went to report to police, but police did nothing. Up to now, I'm struggling. I'm just living by the grace of God. From there, they are now telling the people that they've gotten rude with the Qatarism. And if the PF, they are criminals, how come we allowed them again to be in alliance with them? Because Wamao Samba is coming from Patriotic Front, but Charles Banda is coming from Patriotic Front. So now, if these people, they are criminals, why are they in alliance with criminals? So, President Hakainde Hichilema, you have been exposed, and that's the truth. So, whatever you was doing that time, this time now, God is the one who just wanted yourself to confess and testify to the people of Zambia. Thank you very much, and God bless everyone.
Thank you very much. Let's pick other calls. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello. Afia Shiba Mamba.
Mkwai.
Yeah, actually, my favorite one, you kufumana kare. Amba chawa mande shokutuma amafona ene arashupa.
Mkwai.
Yeah, ili ashonde fokuranda pa bamwamba lyashi chipara kwatire mundora. Yashi ya mundora lyachiwama. Chakwe bati bayuyi bali shibofu baleshita kuri ba polisi bawe uyi bachibe bangankuru wa president babo pako bati bashitefya parefia nomba firefya filia lesa ni Mario Tola ali shibe mwakuchitira efintu so chisangwapo chakobati valatuma vapolisi vafume va Makebi Zulu na va president va Brian Mundubile ku Copperbelt chakobati echisuma vakobati vari avantu verira ama election kuli okuntu bafuma mukitwe bali mairo vaisa mundu ala mukampena but nachimona aba police furu kwamba kubapepeka ko ati bafume ku Copperbelt babwere ku Lusaka icho chena echintu chisuma ili ashino ndefo konkomesha ba mwamba lyashirya abantu bale sha mislead kuli fimwe fintu fya para kwa tati no murefo kubwesha ba PF abantu ko bali mu government chapter kwisa ili ashino ndefo konkomesha lyakwe bati ukuwa president chari kusana no kuba minister ukuba minister ukonka wa president fo balelanda bali banani kana ba BM8 bali ba minister baba Edgar Lungu tabali ba president so bali nomba bala aba president ba chalo chako bati bamwamba balambo control efintu kulinganye chirofo shwiro kuba notice vantu barera ndoko ati murefo kubwesha ba MMT murefo kubwesha ba PF filatefyo so kuli abantu abale umfira kuli abantu abalera ndifi apalefyo bale ko kumfuye fya apalefyo pantu ya BM8 wishire wanyowa tala teka pwe charo BM8 ero yalambo kuteka echaro apa nangula Makebi Zulu taba po vice president ero alaba vice president so amushuwa pale wa BM8 bali tambira ko fimo ifi alipo ifi ali ifibi nefisuma instero bali mu ba minister so ndesubira pali instero beshiro kuba ba president pantu ni shwati bala ba president no matter what ichana na chishiruka kale ba mwamba ekyakutwishika iyo kyali ilanga mairo ekiturero lera na mairo kyalaba mairo futi mukabwe kikabamu kyakowadna kwa polisi wale konkansha bata abantu bakula mu ne finish tiko kwatu polisi kirira ngati wale konkansha kumono kwati president wabo nasebana nomba kuli ababa le tontonya fyako batyo bamwe abanani kane ba BM8 na ba KP na ba MZ8 bali ba PF iri ashi tureko kuli konkapo turi tukonke ba Mundubile baturubule mu buchusho bwo tukwete bamamba turechura chakwe bati ngoranda atukuchura katushipo twinga chibika patunga abantu chako bati babwekeshe po kupera amavoti kuli aba abantu bamamba ndemyeva potukabela pokatwishi iwa bwe afika kuma 2031 karasangu ati palasi wafirwa nokulya ngawaleso nkera nenganda yonsika kufirirwa kumokusonkera inomba ndeba abantu abali kunsi abali tumfwa pano pamulabaso wenu bambamba mwamba njerombo ko bati mwe bantu turi atwende na ba BM8 baturubule kuli ifintu firishitika pano echaro defo charo chali ifya this time around ba president ba HH bare shitire ifintu ngufwaya kwabo.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Thank you, Mr. Mwamba. Good evening, and how are you?
Oh, very well, thank you. Make your contribution, my brother.
Sure, thank you. I'll just remain anonymous.
Yes, anonymous.
Sure. Mwamba, chavane ningofuna okamba ku chintu chimozi. Aba UPND benzokamba ati muno Mzambia muli opposition. Kuja kukitwe kuja vinachitika yesterday. Sinizira ijamene wanaona kapena si opposition nga ndiye amene nzokamba. Kuja kukitwe wa Mwamba wa UPND wakambatia ini AI CAI. Mazambians in Kitwe wanaenda in numbers to go and support Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu. Va UPND wali na campaign material. Ise tinamvera ngani yakwati ma campaign materials yaba Mundubile ati vanayagwira paboda yakalipobwera. But you know, ma Zambians were geared to change the government. Wanaenda kuchita support Makebi Brian Mundubile without regalias. That is number one. Number two, chamene nizafuna chitako kamba kochina ba Munduvire, I want him to be very explicit vakaenda pa floor pacha. Vazivauza abantu kuti ava va UPND osavavhotera pa 13 August. Let him not be scared. Vankale munga the late Michael Sata. Vazienda kuvauza vantu kuti ava va UPND musakavavhotere ni vabosa. So President wa Munduvire, let him be very clear and the things that the UPND promised, electricity, road shading, machani, and the poverty which is in this country. So Munduvire vafunika kuvauza abantu va Mzambia kuti ava va UPND ni vabosa, ava va UPND vaononga vintu, ava va UPND vafuna kuteka wa muyaya, ava va UPND vavutisa vantu. So pa 13 August osavavhotela. Vazivauza vantu pa floor paja vazimvira kuti musakapange mistake kuvhotera va UPND. That is number 2. Number 3 vamwamba vakamba kuti va president vakamba pari bill 7. This is not the time to talk about bill 7. If va bill 7 vinapita kudara. Ni vichape va president vatu is someone manje vasokonezeka, they don't know what to do. Swazi vavochita because they thought Mominenzo Kamil opposition, but the opposition is there and change is coming. So Bill 7 is not even necessary kupoka papali Bill 7 pali no time. It's not even needed. We are not even interested because moja mo parliament ma votes yamankala ni secret. Ngaye vanacho sakuti yonkana kuti gali kombo nawo yo mubanga na chance wana votere. It's very bad what he's doing because they are those MPs. They have rights not to vote and to vote. So he doesn't have to talk about that thing. That is in number 3 wamwa. The last thing wamwa chabeli nizofuna kuti nikambepo. Ninkani ya minimum makamba kuti kuliko division. Mu machani yato kuti bantu bapakisa vaimirira babiri. So what they are supposed to do mamizo makambira. You have to come up with that list, official list, because by so doing, bazazi kamene bazaka votera. Ero baja bantu bamene bashita bamene bafuna kuti bayimirire dapo. Bafuna kubaza chitani withdraw so that we don't split the votes because we want all the votes to come together. So as things stand, the roadmap has been set. Yaoneka kuti there are 2 major giants which are on top. It's Makembe, it's Brani Munduvire, na va HH vanevi. But va HH valuza. So vaja vantu vamene vaimira vaviri. Mfunika kwazo tachoka poni so that at least vasieko mpata tisachite split ma voters will be coming to vote. Otherwise, we wish you well, we wish Brani Munduvire well as we are heading to 2026. It not be an easy thing, but God will see us through. Thank you, Amam.
Thank you very much. Let's take another call. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Wamwamba.
Good evening, my dear brother. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Yo, Nangushiru Mbwiresh Namuisakawana Wamwamba.
Mkwai, London Poyama.
Mkwai. You know what? Ine ndefu afenjiri shanye kuri ba UPND ababene ababate mwasano kushita abantu. Wale shitati tumipero rupia muchita withdraw, especially some of our members favor fumana vena MPF. Can you imagine Wamwamba ba UPND bali mbolu imbwati ngwena ni ngwena. And you have people like Wakambamba Mulenga wale vika no luimbo lulalwina pa Facebook page ya wale imba no kuimba. Can you imagine Wamwamba ba UPND na bateka meeting ba mauzi sampana ba kuli bana rumango ba imbo luimbo ulwakwe bati twali kitobe chiwa twani mauzi sampa is going to be a PF president. Is that normal? I'm one of those people who are victim of my intimidation, kufuayo kushitwa, watushite, watuperi orupia, so that tubashiria maka. Some of us, we said, no, we can't do that. There is no way for the first time in the history of this country ukufika kuli extent ya kulashita ama candidate na wachita file nomination kale. So the instance of them ukupanga ukuchinjeshi ukupisha bill 7 kufwata abantu bonse bali abakafwayo kuimininaza na independent candidate pamulando wakwe bati there will be no cost even if bachita resign. Those people will remain, will just remain. Instance yakwe batu bashtiremu abantu abengi. This is not fair. But chileka lipasana kumona abantu bali amukushana bali mituka ba UPND ba some of our members from PF bali mituka muri ngena nangu mwaisa mchilongani chesu muri mwena tamwa kachinje ustilment and I don't know problem wa PF bakwete sana ya vipilo kuchira problem wa UPND bali pisha mu abantu where for the first time charo chino oko wa president wenga pa podium no kuyasokolola abantu abapangire findu ifyankame ko tabali nishimwikere pisane charo. You could go pa public rally yo abantu aba bali salire bali keno kusala P7. Now what's the essence of being in democratic dispute? Because somebody, even if you belong to PF, you can do that. But the president cannot go on podium no and that. No. Where are we going as a country? Honestly, can you see if it coordinated muchalo?
Natasha, my brother. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Bamunkonge, make your contribution.
Ambassador, echakubalira professor name totera pamulimo omwa imyana efe mulebomba pantoko mwatufunya kutali na pato asafika tato aisitekero kwebati sto afika na pato afika lero ni kulusero akwaleso umwine Ambassador inendeko sereshako kuba nesu bambi mulando wakwebati bale ba public na inofuna landira pa public by 13 dande tina ewa kwa wale ngufu wako bonzi abaishibana kona ba Katito ba Nicholas ba imbira ya mushita bayasukira mweba nesu pano tufikire kature yako pa media tureranda kwe fintunge fine tureranda pali ba mwamba ukumona fe watu nyonyishe P7 pako watinga tuaranda poro tukapoko ubuteko tuwasa ishibo po tuingambira ukukontrole fintu pantu tuwayumfuire wa echo ko barandiro ko batinali ba tripura oro again tuwayumfa P7 opo bayivotera mu parliament tabakamba tikamashina abavotere hao kwambokora mfafi abene bambokora izara choyo bali votere against echarengati mutamfie lero techufisa kamane kali ishwale turanga fyo kwebati iwa mukukuru tetuwa wekeshe charo pantu bali ibane funde ili acharo ili alingo kusarwa munishira yalinge cyo kireturango ko batfwe na Zambia katwa vota wino to protect ama votes pakwe bati P7 tukese isango kwe bati iko ni iligo nombo mulando wako bati wa president kwete ninkakashi baba temo kwikata abantu pakano aso ngatwa poko uteko wa constitution court bakesa tupera green light kesa sangwa nefyo bachito ufuntungu pa mulando waifi lero pakati ka unity yesu ndero mbako pali abene ba Katito bambira ya mushita bayasikira we munanji kwena fye kutuwa mfwafe no mubiri waenda lolesha pali ba makebizoro ishirangiriro bapera na ba Brian Mundubire bafye basa ikata no kupanga unity ushiri shimwe unity bapanga tamwimona tamwa kwata menso nangu chaba shani bakwe bati bayita position kwe bati aho ine nalaba vice iyo ine nalaba kateka emkwai nombe shintunguru shibiri ngashapanga decision ifwe pano tuli wa munkongera imwe bakatito nifo fwe ba nani fwe ba kuya promo kwe ba MP ombya ti wimini fwe ba chirala ndaba mwambofu na chumfwe charenga ndanje fitafywe baraba emano ya mwamba ba mashina we naba bakundora sentro nabantu bonse bali bamona fyo kwe bati bali kwata supporting na fimbi bali kwata fi ground ya kwe bati nango boma ni lusambo taba ko fira pera ko fina bona energy ya kwe bati kulina umbi ushirenga nga boma ni nomba ifo fwe bene fweka nga tuhamba okuyikwisha fira bakatito bakira kwisha ba Emmanuel Mwamba okulaba pontera tumwachia kuma chaichi mwe majangi ba president besuni sheba chia kulanisha na bena mulebe bebyo katkwate ko umuchinshi na ine pakula ndefi chapura mufe chure na miye bana pa open namba ba Nicholas
You mean by Emmanuel Mulenga? You mean by Emmanuel Mulenga?
Na babafunisha video kuri ba Emmanuel Katito no mbaline. Ponta sana mwe majangi mwa kucheche bashumwamba kuri uri imbira ya mushi. Nafunya video tera kokora no kokora sana emkwai.
Chawa mama mwebera ko mwe.
Emkwai katubwerere panshi bakaramba byafire mureba tamajangi. Na mwokuranda kweno abantu kutuba ruso muchinshi. Nero turepo ko buteko tachwama vyofira rimbi murabomba pa ground romba mureperation eri bikubantu abantu ebesa mukuyimata aba ababa befi ngufintunga tafiwe metwaye bakwentungurushisheso not tureranda kuyisarura tachirewama bamurenga n'intungurusheso nababene bambya bayimine nabamurenga nabena nabera n'intungurusheso rero ama president bafure bababika panshi bachita control footage to control nabeshi babene bafya barashita bonse ma leaders beso wayiminina okwabo okuchita support tuiba abakura neroresa na turangenshira tureya munshira imbi katuwerere munshira ba Katito ba imbira ya mushi.
Thank you very much.
Okona perera ba Mwamba mkwai.
Thank you. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hello, good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening, my dear brother. Tell us your name and make your contribution.
This is Movita from Kafiwe, Ambassador.
My brother from Kafiwe, make your contribution.
To start with, Ambassador, I would like to thank God for providing us with this platform, Emmanuel EMV platform. This platform has really done a lot of tremendous work in as far as us, the opposition, mobilizing ourselves. I really thank God for that. Then secondly, is just an advice to our candidates who are competing amongst themselves. It's just a brotherly advice that it's better they introspect so that we feature at least one candidate in each constituency. It's just a matter of self-introspection. So you can see the unity which is amongst our leaders, Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu. So it's just also calls upon ourselves, because candidates where they are competing amongst themselves in one constituency, it's better one should give chance to the other. Otherwise, we thank God for this platform, Ambassador. We are really appreciating. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Ambassador Mwamba Mwabombeni Kwai.
Ndita Mkwai Mwabombeni.
Mkwai. Ba John Mabo kuno ku Italy.
Yes, my dear brother from Italy. Make your contribution.
Mkwai. Ambassador, you through your platform, because our people are listening, Bena Zambia Vanesu. And therefore, I feel Pishako. Amena Zambia through your platform. First question, for the Zambians. The other one is for you, our leaders, who have led our country before. To the Zambians, so if let's say the UPND is in power now, they have the instruments of power of our sovereign state, and it's a democratic country since 1991. We say even from 1964. If it had happened that the previous government under the Patriotic Front was throwing stones and in Iswema, in Kolon, in Sokonsoko, in the UPND, just as a way of trying to dismantle them, trying to destabilize them, instead of competing based on manifestos and performance. Do our people really think the approach equal to the UPND towards other political leaders and parties if it was applied to them by the previous government, they would have had this opportunity to be in power. Question the audience and our people back home.
Thank you.
Coming to you, Enko Ambassador, to you, the leaders, our Patriotic Front and other parties. You know, in this government, I have a problem with the former Minister of Education, Dr. Siakali Mava, and we have the poverty of the mind and the rest. Okay, so if we have the poverty of the mind, this UPND political party which is in power is also welcoming some of these people come from these parts of the nation, from the north and Kuapula, Zambia. But they say that we have the poverty of the mind. And these people, for example, Ndeba Lumbalaba Honorable, if he's even honorable, Miles Sampa, he was Kudaku Secretariat, and then Madam Vice Republican President, she sang a song which was despising the former ruling party at Ichua Tochari Tobeka. Fwewe never would take on ifwe. In a democratic country, Fwewe never would take on ifwe Ichua Tochari Tobeka. In the presence of Ramal Sampa. Is that what Dr. Siakalima really meant when he said you got the poverty of the mind, that you can be trolled, or which that troll like that in real terms, but up and troll and mocked? We know support. Our people are from the north and the Luapula, north parts of Zambia. How support UPND? If you fichitika the intention of the top leadership to the UPND, I'm on a real intention, because I've never heard any praise sing over UPND. Ukuchita praise and appreciate good works and contributions to the nation of these previous governments. It's always demonizing. The Republican president always goes Kudakuwa Northern Kumuchinga Kuda saying, why didn't the previous governments do this and that? The leaders were from this part of Zambia. All the time. But for the first time in the history of Zambia. Why? Abantu wa Northern Nakuba Pulabaresu Nishifu despised for national level. But our people have contributed so much to the welfare of our nation. And that's why this question for you leaders, especially about the Patriotic Front. Why they are stooping so low? Behind closed doors, I know they are called useful idiots. Why are they letting this happen? Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Vashmalan Mwabomben London Poyama.
Ole sale tsunga vamwamba ndifo kumitasha le sale mpara sana imwe. Emukwa imuli ntungusha kwe bati mwatufunyo kutali sana. Ero chimi ndifo kutasha ba Makebu Zulu and Mr. Mundubire. Bali chitabuna bali katanefo twalila ndapo efifine. Ala kwali abantu Emmanuel Mwamba. Abantu abengi bashirefe mu mayanda. Balero kwe bati yo uyu muntu uyu ewala tulubula. Naba UPND bona kwataba nandi balira ndokwe bati Mundubire alateka. Apechi lipo ba Mwamba apa kubombera apa kugadinga amavoti epa kubombera fechapwa. Ababa UPND naba yakale. Naba letensala abantu bonse bale irishanya naba UPND bene bale irishanya kwe bati aba batuchusha. Ba PF bale teka fe bwino cyarengere fe makada. Development ba PF bale langa kwe bati nga bapanga no muntu amono kwe bati apa abantu bale bomba. Aikona yaba UPND yakwe bati uko imono lingira wafwala binoculars ero wamona. Takwaba ba PF bali bombere bwino cyalo ekimwandini. Abantu bale furuko kwe bati group ya Emmanuel Mwamba. Group ya banakachinda. Group yaba abali kujere bakitotela. Bali kwete imitima shabantu abena malanji bale sakamana abantu inshita yonse ile longa mwamo na ba UPND akaso bale campaigner ama candidate babo tapali efo bakwete pona nguchimo bale bawera fi twaile kuma ndo munesu alifo wa UPND ukunina momotka ba UPND bale tuwera fe nshita yonse nechitumbi kumo kweba timo muleya twachawe ine ninne mofye so uteko bwa UPND ubu nabona ule fintu sana abena Zambia bonza bale umfwa ibe yakuchinje bantu twamisha ba UPND again
Bashmalani
mkwae
mulelanda ati mwaile kuchililo uko member wa UPND afuile so mwakwera mamotoka yabo baleseka na imwe nechitumbi kumo pambi bale bakwati bonse ni wa UPND
abantu bale tuwera abantu mumshira monse kupita mu buchi munde bale tuwera fe muchi muwe mune chitumbi kumo kutuwerera kumo napako kwera abantu bale tuwera fe nokula twebo kwewa tukocha moto keyo ya UPND na bale tensala na polisi bali umpepe polisi bale shafa polisi bali tuwera baimano mwamba chimwamfonenso ni kukira muve fuko bachawe nanguni panshi kusitwa ndo kuchawa tuminemo abantu na bafura kuno kito kuno ifibalando kwebati migodi balisula tapabo waingira kwenchito kulya bufi mapisi wetu wa pasta banji babomba mugodi mulya mwini babwera kofi baya akachero babwera kubeta fedi molimo bati ba UPND nga balelanda iyo amamaini balisula fyabu fya abantu balechula abantu nga chakwe bati balisula migodi nga takwaira abantu kulya kulali nga bali umfa kuno kwebati eti ali etefindu fituntulu nomba pata pali ba imano mwamba tuko sefe buno bwino ba UPND aba na abayakali aba.
Thank you very much. Let's begin to take the last callers so that we thank you Bashmalan, who's made me laugh about the funeral where they were kuelera kumone chitumbi mwe bantu bakwalesa yo bukali mukwete na bufula. Yeah. Let's take your last calls before we close. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution. And some quite more bombeni.
Mkwai anatumfa wakola watuma pwavo tatini na ifoma yote wali kumanda wa mwamba ifya chitiki ifya kwa chiro chava UPND kaifotwensha na basi mwali pato mundemyewa wali fyati muntu bamwimina ni UPND alimweka muri basi bamwimina bati nshikose ba UPND wati soti kutia kusuya kufimfya matobo so kanji mayo yali vipile mayiro chako bati kumanda kuli ba UPND nomba chashala kurumba ni kampeni fikanchi kula kampeni na mungu awe neve na benefi so ifyo balelanda fya chishinga secondary efo kuranda kofena inevitable contribute kairi mwaishi balaki mama na ifo na ba president akaine itile manabe shibati ma election yata yangu so ba mwamba ine ukulomba kufika kwa bati kushe plan ya ififini fya kusta monitor filesion so mupangire shani because bena na ishibati dabaire kusolwezi bamona kusolweza abantu balelanda vimbi na besho ba president nomba ukabo kutashani protect ama votes because ingata kwa kabo kuta protect ama votes bakabala pange fya kubati fika bakara tinya abantu pa polling station imbaka busha violence ile tika mulama na bambo kuipono na beka ma MPs baba UPND na papene pali ine efika mboku bakapaganya olubulu bisana babombera mu demonic so bakabomfya olubuli kubati bambe kulapasa abantu so that bale itira mu ifi so nomba ni planning show mukwete kubati ifike sa tika pakubati yakabe protected because nabe shibati background tabalipo nabe shibangani kuno kuchira umbo kwena kale fe yapita kuno kwena kale yapita fe kuno so nde planning question na chafuati ndipusheko kulimo munja fikeko ili.
Thank you very much.
Bakwati na kumfuyo kuba chachi ni planning mukwete ma polling station mukatashani because yapanga tamwakanani kale aba plan nabe chapa wala usama zili province techo muntu apite leo abapere ko tuberere ekukuli.
Thank you. I think let me close with that question. There's need to protect the vote. The UPND have passed what is called the Electoral Process Bill, which became an act where they are urging that as soon as you vote, you leave the station and there will be the police there and UPND party agents. And we understand that their plan is to chase PF or opposition agents, party agents, so that they do not monitor that elections. That is where the opposition has to strengthen its presence. You need to identify people. There are 13,400 polling stations at the moment. You need to identify people who will man those polling stations. They should be registered. Hello, you need to get 2 or 3 more people who are security-wise, who should protect those people in the event that UPND come and they're trying to chase party agents. 13,400 polling stations. You need 2 people or 4 people, and ECZ is registering them now. We understand the UPND could even be playing a trick where they're trying to register candidates, candidates for the opposition. And by the time the opposition take their names, they will say, no, we've already registered. So be careful. I understand that Gilbert Liswaniso, the UPND youth chairperson, was calling party structures in UPND and urging them to submit 2 names, 1 roster for their party agents, and the other ones that will purport belong to the opposition, but they'll be UPND, so that ECZ can issue accreditation. No one will be allowed after you vote to hang around. There'll be the police to be there. In the past, citizens guarded their own vote. So you have to devise around what Electoral Process Act has provided. First, party agents, get your party agents. Ensure that these are party agents that can just be chased. So you may need to get someone who's security conscious, who will refuse to leave. The police might cooperate with the UPND. We have to be very alert. And the opposition has to do a PVT. They have to have phones with their party agents who can submit reports quickly to the center when some of those things are happening. Say you as voters, you may not be allowed around the polling station, okay? But you are allowed, is it 50 meters away or 100 meters away? You can vote and stay 100 meters away. Ngamamona kwa isa wa UPND na vana tuwele kuma bantu ama party agents. You citizens can help restore order and push that police, because there will be a member of the police or 2 policemen at every polling station. And you citizens can rise and say, ngabo finish barechita. Why are they flouting the rules? The police or the UPND cannot outnumber you. Our people are more than the number of the UPND. I can see there are some calls before we close. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution. Ndita yama.
Balamek ndetu mnakono kumusumba wa Kitwe.
Balamek mwalia kurari mailo. Okay. Kwa chwewe ni.
Itakwali. Ine. Fija kwa bajaba ichama shivota takwali. Ala chala ingire fi bapa vote tutoti ba haka hindi au itachawa memwandini. Ukutoka ku 13 August. Please to papa takosoko kwenda bakainde mutanje sita Zambia. Nko kalainde ba mundubire. Please fumeni bose tie mukutungirira. Ati kusoma mwamba. Tamwimwene na kwenda mwene weka. Alo mwese na bakwata. Umwese na bakwata. Baiko kula ma airport. Baiko kula ma airport ku muri province. Utumbusu kwacho kutabapwisha. Nomba ma airport ko beka kula mwamba kwenda. Utumbusu yombo kwacho tabapwisha huko. Embo pisha ma airport. Bali tunaenda unga 50 kwa tawali tupira. Fertilizer ya 250 bali tupira. Ba mayora lumango kusada no permit atiyo fertilizer na iwera pali 750. Twashingulu kwa matauni mwesema mwesha fertilizer mutengo waso 750 tutawo mwene. Dero bufi mbarabu pwa. Bakoso nomba kuli yo chona tafishe kali ngombo na ila isa nakane mubangaulya. Bamwamba Ombeni muno pali program letu letu mwede sale mpala imwe. Twalarubuka paseti nukas na tote namvaya.
Thank you very much. Yes, Elas Muvanga is a minister of small and medium enterprise that was fired alongside Gary Nkombo, Elijah Mchima, and now we understand Newton Samakai, who also refuted that he voted for Bill 7. So that's what I was talking about, the vote protection. The UPND, I'll find time to speak to their manifesto. In 2021, they stole two things. First, their manifesto was, we demonstrated, was just lifted from Jamaica, if you remember in 2021. Their manifesto was lifted from the Jamaica manifesto. This year, they lifted most of the things from my Project 2026, which I presented on this program last year. I talked about 10,000 megawatts and I demonstrated how 10,000 megawatts can be, because I was comparing to Japan. I said, you have a small country like Japan that has more power than the entire Africa. And I said, it's a shame. So why don't we, as Zambia, begin with 10,000 megawatts? And I demonstrated that you need to take power stations to areas where there's prediction that we are going to have water for the next 100 years. This is in northwestern province, Copper Belt, Mchinga, and Luapula provinces. This is where you should take your power stations. People talked about topography and that the reason we have all the major power stations is because of the topography in southern province, gorges and the valleys and mountains, and it's easy to put up a power station. Even on a flat surface with the current technology, it is easy to dam it and then create the power that is required. Of course, the ideal one is where there are mountains and you just dam in between and the walls act as your quick dam and create pressure. I demonstrated that Siavonga and Mamba areas, Sinazongwe, Siavonga and Mamba have core that can last you up to 200 years. This is where you need to put your major power stations, thermal stations. Ignore this green talk. Ignore this issue about climate change, and they are saying they are restricting what they are calling dirty energy. They are reopening their core stations in Germany, here in the United States. But when it comes to you, they'll tell you there will be no funding. No. If you look at maize harvest, I ridiculed the 3 million metric tons. I said it's ridiculous, a country that has up to 80% of arable land, producing 3 million metric tons. You go to my Project 2026 broadcast last year, you will find the numbers that they've produced, the 7 numbers they've produced about in their manifesto. All of them, I mentioned them in my Project 2026. I just didn't mention them. I also demonstrated how it can be done. So by UPNDF Wawa, by the in 2011, I took the former president, Frederick Chiluba, to watch football. And, this was advice from the late journalist, Edem Jokoto. Edem Jokoto used to tell me, every time I see a president, meaning Chiluba, in those suits have been scandalized by the Post and other media, that they are the result of, proceeds of crime, plunder of national resources. That was the term at the time. Why don't you rebrand the man? Let him wear something else. So we made him wear a dramatic shirt as he was an Arsenal supporter. And we went to O'Hagan's where I took Dr. Chiluba, and I alerted the media that Dr. Chiluba would be watching. I think there was an Arsenal Man U final at the time. And people remember that day, Dr. Chiluba had a T-shirt in 2011 called Bali One. So in 2021, they didn't just steal Chiluba's name of Bali. They also stole the manifesto. They picked and lifted the Jamaican manifesto. And I wonder why. Because UPND presents itself as a business and intellectual political party. I don't understand how they can't come up with ordinary documents like original manifesto. Here they are, the current manifesto. I'm not bragging, but my Project 2026, I I broadcast it last year between April and May. I had 3 series of broadcasts. They were almost 3 hours each. And you could see I was basing them. And remember, before I ran Project 2026, I used to hold series called Conversation Podcast, where I brought all my special guests to review Zambia at 60. And I was saying, where did we go wrong? Because Singapore, South Korea, China were poor countries. We were far richer. We were the third richest economy in Africa. We are among the 3 thriving economies in Africa in 1964. And we were far ahead of a patch of sand called Singapore. China was a rural agricultural-based economy. No urban areas of repute. And South Korea was a rural outback. But these countries in the last 60 years are first worlds. What did they do right and what did we do wrong? We've had 7 presidents. That was my lingering question to all my guests and all the big names, politicians in our country came to my podcast, the Area Conversation Podcast. Name it. From John Sangwa to Winter Kabimba to the people like Archbishop Telesfo Mpundu. Everyone came to that podcast, and I used to ask that question. So it was easier for me to formulate Project 2026 as a blueprint for our country, and I urged the opposition to adopt the ideas. It's a pity that the brilliant ideas have been adopted by the UPND. I wish that they were adopted by the opposition. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Mulishani. This is Oscar, and Oscar I'm calling from Italy.
Father Oscar Pombo, we miss you long time.
I miss you. When I miss you, I just hear I say, Okay, thank you so much. Anyway, I was following some of I've just come up on this platform, and what touched me was when you are complaining and you are saying something like maybe your disappointment, but the UPND have taken some of your ideas, which all of us we know. I think we know. We have seen. This is the reality, and so I just wanted to contribute on that matter. Very simple on that matter there, and this is my opinion now. What has happened for the past, what is happening even at now? I think it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. First of all, quite about freedoms. The freedoms we understood what happened. No, rally yes, rally no. And today we are even asking the same question. Kukawe, rally yes or rally no? Then there was an issue in Ndola. Residents yes or residents no? I won't enter into details. I think you understand what I'm trying to mention. People are asking these questions. We are asking these questions. And in a democracy, in a multi-party democracy, indeed, 61 years after independence, to experience such type of situations, it's very difficult, very hard to understand. No, but to asuminisha okay, it's happening. To around that, it is happening. So fidechitika na papenya hapa fidechitika na kuri wa mwamba uko ati wa mwamba ine wa mwamba nani kane ni program yene eyo mwalera ndapoichi ine. I remember very well. I remember ine me. I remember, and then somebody says, no, that is a new program. But this is not the novelty. This is not the novelty. It has happened. Iya kweba tiyo na watiyo mposamabwe, whatever. It is the novelty. For the first time, we have seen, we have witnessed this in the New Dawn government, in the government of President Hakainde Hichilema. We've always been subjected to a theory which states, for the first time, such things has happened. Then you go and dig down and you find that it's not the first time. It might be the second, the third, or the fourth time. But that is just like that. Abantu beswa batungulire muri imyaka yapita kubalanda ati, for the first time, it has happened. So, apawane, Vamwamba, you speak out. Inende for kumitasha na food na imitasha na lidia na bukisha, and I said, Vamwamba, thank you for what you have done. Whether the country Zambia is going to recognize you, Vamwamba has done this, and this is what Mwamba has done. It's okay. It's okay that Wakamiste recognize. But I myself, I will recognize you. If you watch, Mwamba, what you have done. Mwamba, we have fought. Avandipanse paroine. Abantu bale mfono kumfo bafata bareranda barepunda balampondi moyo banje bati bafata baranda ha kaita bomfo istundo ngadala muchibemba bera ta bomfo fondera so banje bati so nomba bali so no kwishwa Bamwamba Emmanuel Mwamba. The history is going to bear witness for what you have done. History. And they are going to insult you. Remember this, my brother. And I am not against the UPND. I don't hate UPND. I hate the program, which is a failure. That one, I hate it. I don't hate the UPND as a, no, because no, you think this and that. No, I don't hate, but when you say, Ama roads, aya kukitwe, usakile, from palapa SOS, how can I say this? SOS palapa Pakafio Bridge. Today pa Usakile station, then Riverside, then Nkana East. Road in Gaidi, we know, the road is beautiful and I appreciate. When the road is pathetic, I say, the road is pathetic. When I say it is pathetic, it doesn't mean I hate the government. But I'm saying the reality is that the road is pathetic. So Mwamba, Emmanuel Mwamba, Koseni Bane, Ine also Hakainde Hichilema, President, Ine I voted, I will always remember this. My dear brother, Hakainde Hichilema, I voted for you. I campaigned for you. The question is, Baranje Babantu, oh no Memo Apombo. You were voting for Hakainde. Now you have changed your mind for Anjo. That's how we want to friendly. Take a change your mind. If we chavati. Umuntu alanda. If it takes your Anjo, we don't want Muntu Aquablum. Tesho mwalandile. So ine fonava. Ine na livotil twa. Iyo katarizi mufiwanda. Iyo isio chivanda. Iyo abafibanda. Efwewo twalisumine. No kusumina alisumine okuwati. Isio alichivanda. Katarizi muyalichiva. Ana alisumine ndenye baba mwamba. Ndenye befo chali. Ano ifa mwana mbati. Alakwenda kanshi te isio eka wali chivanda unaipsha nomba question ala mwewa ndungu na filistika kanshi te isio eka wali ichivanda unawela ena nomba fya wele fini zwa abantu wanje wati awe imo wapongo kairira time mwale tu supporta nomba pa mwakana shira no support ona sa asuka nomba afuna kani no supporta nifi mwe wantu wakwa mulungu awe tefo chaba turi bena inenje mwina Zambia na bonse imo muri bena Zambia timu na filisha ku South Africa bonse barawa ku South Africa bena South Africa ono bara nduko batimu wa foreigner get out. Go to your homes. Kavieni kumayanda. Tieni uko. We don't care. Otu wasabe bati wa South Africa mwarufianya. You have made a mistake. Hawe. This is South Africa. This is South Africa. We want to stay here. We want to... No. Wait. Wa South Africa mwarufianya. Ifwe wa Zambia. Twalifunda. Infumu yenu nani kane oyo Thabo Mbeki twali mufunda ifo kwina wa Zambia twali funda nemfumu yenu uyo babike mu prisoner nani kino
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela, yes. Ifo wa Zambia imo wa Africa ifo twali nifundira Nelson Mandela. Twamefundira Thabo Mbeki, twamefundira na ba Air Force Commander wa South Africa because yakwali chilo South Africa ina alisa umfo basanje banokunja ba Air Force Commander banjeba nasambire ne kurusaka mu 2011 ba mwamba mu 2011 ba Zambia you educated us Air Force Commander na Zambia na South African Air Commander wa South Africa pa airports twalipa lero tulepembele chitumbi chakwa ECL bale tweva mwe bantu bakwa mulungawe bazanja muli bakalamba ala mwali tuchitire fintu walulesha ati chachine ati yes chachine ine basambirire 2011 ndi kuzambi mwe bantu chachine ati yes so funaishi kuno ku airport ndefo okushindika edika chakulungu uwansambirishe because 2011 edika chakulungu ninshali kale kateka so nomba fyonse fi era turela ndata twapata mwe bantu bakwamulu tatwapata ichipani tatwapata political party tatwapata an individual. What we are talking about is this is part of history. Hello, history. Oh, tulelanda. Ikabwela ikesanje bana ine wini ba pombo imwe. Ima ba pombo imwe. Tamwa isibe 15 na ine nkesa asukati. Yo. Okay. Barinje bereko narishibe no kwishima no mbero mwaishibe ro mwekana tondolo awe yo bifite byakasubirishiwe ebyo wakatwipusha abantu n'abaayitsi abeesikulu beesu abakeesa ku ntansho bakatwipusha yametusho imwe bapombo mwali kwisa ero efyala ekitiki efifinto.
Thank you, my dear priest.
I submit now. I conclude. Let me just conclude. Alamwe bantu na totel. Mwamba, what you have been doing, may God bless you. May God bless you. I'm not just doing this because I'm just ndelanga tie muviso look at wish. Awe mwamba. May God bless you. What you have been doing, indeed, you deserve God's blessing. And you are one of those people in our country. Akwebati, lesa ale nipala mwamba, lesa ale kupala.
Thank you for those blessings. I'm so grateful. Let me take the last caller, then we close. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and you are our last caller.
Good evening, Mwamba. Thank you so much. This is Mama T.
Indeed, Mama T. Make your contribution.
Thank you, Natotela Mwamba. First, narabalira poyo ya kwebati AI. Alamwe bantu te AI iri ari kukitwe. You know, we've been telling you UPND kwebati opposition mukwete. The political party. Opposition mukwete ba UPND bantu aba mu Zambia. Abantu obomwa beperi obufi. Opposition mukwete. How many members do UPND party has? But webe, nibanga members bakwata ba UPND. Ero fwema Zambians to ababanga. Ifefe mufiro kuyipusha mwebene. Tulamiebo kwebati opposition bantu aba mu Zambia. I've seen what was happening in Solwezi. We've seen a lot of videos coming from Solwezi. Ni bedroom yaba UPND. So if those people can raise up and say no, enough is enough. Those are Zambian people speaking to you by UPND. Pabufewo mwabepa. Mwaliba bepa abantu. You ascended to power using ubufi. And the abantu are not happy with that. So you should worry about that. So those crowds you saw in Kitwe, they are bantu. Ba opposition obo mwakwata. Noti ba tonse noti ba nani awe opposition obo mwakwata. Bali obo mwabepere obufi akabunga ka 50 kwacha fertilizer ya 250 na arrogance mukati bali abantu obo mwamwe. And then okwisa kuli abo ba MP ba Muchima ba Gali Nkombo aba voted against Bill 7. It is their democratic right. They had a right to choose. Is this good for the Zambian people? Is this bad for the Zambian people? What was bad in PF then is bad even today. You are the same people who rejected Bill 10. When PF brought Bill 10, you shut it down. And you were so proud, saying, why kana, naiflopa. Lero, abaume abanshindo, ababemba baranda, abaume abanshindo. Barando kweba dawe fuyipi usevende tu ifotere. And Abena Garin Kombo should be proud of themselves because they listened to the Zambian people. They listened to the people who voted for them. To say for a Bill 7 Tatule Fire, Bari Umfwa, Lakana no kui votera. Abo Abakwata Okfai Pia Matumba, Baya votera. So election year 2026. whatever imingalato mwalachita abantu balichinja kale bachinja abantu nangu mwingeka na manifesto yako bati mkesa kula mayapo tayari 10 nista mwakulile muri 5 years inga mwali kula kwa yali 5 mwatupera kwa example nga manifesto yo mwakwete mu 2021 pakwe bati mwise mpower. What have you achieved from that manifesto that you are giving the Zambian people? The promises that you made to the Zambian people, what have you achieved? The only thing that the UPND are talking about is we debt restructuring. The only thing that will make Zambian people happy is if you come on the podium and say, oh, Shiriangongore bashinde ba PF twali shiripira, shonzenda lama twali ripira, apa nombata tukwete nkongore. Noti imwe mwali kongore mpia katuishinga nishinge shosho mwa kongora, you don't even disclose. The only thing that you've done from the money is that you've gotten from IMF, tufimbusu toto makula. Ala iye nata iwe mebaka indi. Na message tamukwete ku bantu. Bantu abantu n'abamigwera mu. Tapale fyo mwingeba abantu. Because mwali bepa. Tapali ubufe wo mwalaisa na bwena na ngumwana omunono wakwe batesa ese omfati yo bakainde balelanda palifi. Bantu na mufirwa. Ukufirwa fyo fititi mwafirwa. Isese kupepeka abantu shako bati bali ukuna mama yako mrefu kupepeka abantu because you feel now you are above whatever. We've told you akainde chiremba. God is in heaven and God sees and God knows what is best for Zambia. Alaba akainde nipano turi. Bamambana tote.
Thank you very much. Those were our two last callers. You know, this program respects callers. So while I was winding up, our callers were calling and I had to oblige Father Mwansa Pombo has not called for some time. Our Father Donosco from Italy, my dear brother Mavo, John Mavo from Italy, and Mama T, she's a regular caller. When they called at the last minute, we had to oblige. Anyway, I was talking about the manifesto for the UPND. We will have time to speak to it, but I wanted to demonstrate that most of the key issues literally have been lifted from my project 2026, which I was proposing as a program for the opposition. I was very fascinated with the livestock sector. When you count our water bodies, across the country, whether they are lakes, whether they are rivers, whether they are swamps, creeks, streams, that you can actually make a $5 billion industry just from fisheries. And for livestock, I'd said I had a good experience in Western Province. I even visited 2 provinces in Angola because in the past, Dr. Kaunda had a dual program with Angola where they were controlling livestock diseases. We can't export our livestock to Europe for one simple reason. Our cattle is diseased and it's been labeled and condemned. Yet Zambia has one of the best beef. And then you have communities that keep cattle, like the Lozis, the Tongas, the Namwangas, these that naturally keep cattle, that they could be supported. And I demonstrated that in my own small way. When I was permanent secretary, we revived the ranches in Muchinga and in northern provinces. And they have now a healthy number of cattle, but it's something that can be done. And I looked at Botswana, which has a thriving industry, and it's a multi-billion-dollar beef industry in Botswana. And why can Zambia do it? Simple. Is that, and Botswana is a desert. Can you imagine? Sometimes you have to import feedstock for their livestock because the beef industry in Botswana is a very, very big industry, rivaling the diamond trade that they have. And so I was saying Zambia can have a $5 billion industry in fisheries. Currently it's about $360 million. That can rise to $5 billion industry. And I demonstrated how. I said, take a road to every lake, every major river where there is fishing, to every swamp, and take warehousing, cold storage facilities there. Instead of importing, the way we are importing fish from China, it's a shame that with all this water we should have shame. And I demonstrated how our fisheries alone, before you go to beef industry, which is can be another $5 billion industry, how fish alone can be a $5 billion industry. So when I saw these figures being pranced around by the UPND, I said, anyway, abantu abefe wawa mu 2021 bali ibeshinari yakwa Bali named Dr. Chiluba Bali 1. There's a t-shirt that he wore, a national t-shirt that he wore when he went to watch football. 10 years earlier, they picked that and named their president as Bali, and they stole a Jamaican manifesto which they made as year 2021. And some of it, the 10-point plan that was crafted by Dr. Professor Jones Kasonso, there's a big event in Kabwe tomorrow at Makululu grounds. The UPND, the PF, the Tonse Pamosi Alliance, led by Brian Mundwile and Makebi Zulu, will be holding a mammoth rally in Kabwe. Join them. The Tonse Pamosi Alliance will have, remember the candidature is on the party NRPUP, where President Mundwile and Makebi are standing. They'll be holding a rally tomorrow. Take your Nyali to Kabwe tomorrow at 12 hours. All the surrounding townships around Makululu, you join the team at Kabwe grounds. I noticed from the comments that our people expressed concern about our PS system. I think especially the people that were at the back couldn't hear what was being said. We need to improve on our public address system. The one that was used, let's improve it. You might have to put smaller tweeters or horns so that the people at the back can hear. That's one of the comments I heard about the PA system. So improve on that and improve on the stage. I know there's no money. This is one of the poorest campaigns ever, for one simple reason, that President Hakainde Hichilema has stifled resources in our country. He owes our people up to $13 billion. The local debt is 252 billion kwacha, which is about $13 billion. So while he's always talking about the foreign debt, he's never talked about the domestic debt that he needs to dismantle. I recognize the bulk of it is in treasury bills and government bonds, but we understand there have been issues there even when they are maturing, because there's just no money in that economy. He has stifled that economy. And then our contractors, suppliers, he has refused to pay them, that they will take the money to the opposition. God bless you, Mwantu Wakwalesa, and we will see you tomorrow. Oh, before I leave, someone has just sent me this text from the former chief whip in Parliament, Mulusa. Someone has just sent me this. I'll close with this. Is a 5 minutes video audio where Mulusa is trying to entice independent candidates to resign in Northwestern Province and Mwinilunga and Solwezi. He was enticing them that they should resign and that there is some money for them. The audio has just been sent to me just now from Solwezi. So let me play it as we close.
One thing.
Yeah, man.
Over your candidate Koko.
Yeah.
But I also want to talk to Olix over the same.
Okay.
So, then Jumundeke, Olix Namtim now phone again with you.
I'm with him. We lost somewhere.
Give him the phone.
Neka George Murumu mwavo.
Over to Murumu. Okay, so yeah, you guys have an opportunity, yourself and him. to engage number one. But before I give him your numbers, you will have to agree. So you know politics here, you don't miss opportunities in life.
Okay.
By the end of the day, it is talking. So at least he has told me to engage all of you independents to see if he can talk to you and see if you can make materials political.
Me, I'll be very straight with you, Honorable. I love my president, but if it is to engage, I'm to engage the president direct, not enemy.
That's what I'm talking about. No, what I'm
enemy.
I'm telling you that before I
not even you,
give your lines.
If there is
there's
a
no one.
brother, why, Honorable? If there is a brother who could have protected me very much, is you yourself. But look at the
Okay.
No,
Don't
you imbalanced me, Honorable, to be honest. I've not
how did I embarrass you?
You, what did you do, Van Dyke? You
What did
know
I
very
do?
well I was part of the people to be adopted. And I received information. But when I came to you, Honorable Pawota Fair, what did you do? You laughed at me and said, oh, hey, Makushapu, Wamonapano. I said, oh, so this is what is going on. Oh, thank you so much. So if you
I
have
laughed at
engaged
you.
the president.
When did you engage me?
But we were together at the adoption site where you were sharing adoptions. We were there together. You and me greeted. Honorable Ngoma greeted. Honorable Ferrari greeted. Honorable Mkumbi greeted. The four of you greeted you. And we had a chat.
I don't remember meeting you, Koker.
Honorable.
No, I don't remember meeting you.
Where
was that?
That's what happens. You know, someone, if you are doing a bad thing to someone, the person you are doing it to keep record. You who's doing it, you forget. So, give the president the phones, we can engage with the president. No enemy to person here, no.
First of all,
you are my uncle, you have protected you, have protected your interest, have arranged the program.
No. Pokera, first of all.
No, I'm
you
not.
You don't engage people like that. Okay? I've respectfully come to you, okay, as a person who can be considered. I don't want to go back to Pambamba. I don't. I'm just taking off now.
And coming back?
Friday.
Yeah,
you see, sometimes, Friday, sometimes, you know, you must value what we have, okay? Okay? You engaged me once. Remember when you engaged me?
Not even once.
The last time you engaged me?
Not even once, Honorable.
Once, politically. You remember, I think, I would say not once, maybe the last time. You remember the last time you engaged me?
Not even once. If there is a uncle...
I'm saying, do you remember the last time you engaged me?
If there have been uncles that have protected me and have protected him, with yourself and Oryx Kakwata. Remember the first time I almost got suspended for refusing to take on a trip that I wasn't yielding results for the council. I said, no, give desk to my people, then I'll move. But when the colleagues wanted to suspend me,
what is important in Kasan is that we have an opportunity to engage you and not engaging you indirectly, engaging you directly.
You know, we are
thank you, so that when you talk to number one, you will hear what he's going to say. But I want to talk to Kakwata. Don't tell him Musagujingira. You, it is yours. So just tell him that whenever Musa caught, I'm on the flight in the next 1 hour. When I land, you'll be the first one to call. But for you, you are ready. So I will let you know what time you expect your call. Okay?
Okay.
Just tell him that I was calling him and his phone is off. So he should try to call me after an hour. When I wear the material.
Okay.
So please just prepare yourself. Anytime I can listen.
Oh,
you know that you know Monapita. At least most of the things you witness. You witness most of the things. Somo mpaka tunerusamba mino we muntu we wampisha musana. Resa tiye unsunga.
Bima mwikebera honorable never.
No.
Oh,